Welcome to the Lutheran Church by the Lake. I'm Pastor Jim. We'd like to invite you in so you can see what's happening here in the ministry of this congregation. This video is a window into all the ministries and individuals that make up this body of Christ. Sometimes windows are clear and we can see what's happening. Other times, windows are beautiful. We'd like for you to see some of the beautiful mosaic of the stained glass windows that make up not only our worship area of Lutheran Church by the Lake, but the people of the Lutheran Church by the Lake. Come on in, see what's happening. I'd just like to share with you a little bit about our mission statement, as well as the core values, those things that we think are central to our mission and ministry here at the Lutheran Church by the Lake. The mission statement of the Lutheran Church by the Lake very simply is to worship, witness, and participate in God's activity as we serve God's community. We feel like that reflects our relationship with God. And then that relationship is expressed through the core values. The core values that we share as God's people are, first of all, to worship. Then, out of that grows our stewardship, as well as discipleship, fellowship, and servant leadership. You'll notice that each of these core values ends with the suffix of ship. The Lutheran Church by the Lake takes seriously our location here in McCormick County along the shores of Thurmond Lake, and so we respond to Jesus' invitation to come and follow him, just as he invited the early disciples by the Sea of Galilee. So too, we get on board with the call and follow Jesus through our ministry and mission here as the Lutheran Church by the Lake. The worship ministry here at the Lutheran Church by the Lake is centered around the Word and Sacrament. Our stained glass windows reflect these emphasis, with the sacramental windows being on either side, as well as the Word window, which is behind me. The center is the cross, the act of God on our behalf in Jesus Christ. That is why we worship and praise. That's why we gather each Sunday in a simple act of worship to celebrate the gifts that God has given us.
I felt that my experience of many years with the Presbyterian choir as a director and singing as a paid singer for two different Episcopalian churches over the years provided good background for me to face a Lutheran service, which I have come to love. I appreciate the marvelous, the wealth of the tradition of the Lutheran Church, a 400-year tradition begun by Martin Luther himself.
Gathering together here each Sunday in this beautiful sanctuary at the Lutheran Church by the Lake is such a privilege for all of us. I was brought up in the Baptist faith. My husband was in the Army for 33 years, and we worshiped in the chapels. It became very natural for us to join here at the Lutheran Church by the Lake because most of our chaplains in the Army were of the Lutheran faith. As a musician, I have been able to share my skills and talents through our emphasis in the music in our worship services. Martin Luther felt that music was an important part of worship, and in the Lutheran tradition, the youth and adult choirs enhance the worship services and allow its members to praise God while sharing our talents. Through the liturgy and hymns during worship, all members have a chance to raise their voices to the glory of God. Providing a beautiful setting in which to worship is another tradition of the Lutheran Church by the Lake. At Advent, we gather together to decorate the church, which also provides an opportunity for fellowship. The display of poinsettias in the narthex, which are donated by the members, is spectacular, especially surrounding the beautiful carved figure of the welcoming Christ. People come into church and they take one look at its beauty and they feel that God is here.
Stewardship can be described as everything that you do after you say, I believe. Through the Lutheran Church by the Lake, we share with each other, with our community, and with the world. We have so many talented people within this congregation that give so much. We do a food pantry that we use food donations, and at Easter and Christmas we fill bags and give 120 bags to needy families throughout our community. We have a Habitat house where we repair and help people in need of homes. We have Delahau, which is a school for troubled youth that come in at Christmas time, and we put on a Christmas shop to allow them to purchase Christmas gifts for their families. We pack boxes for our troops to be sent overseas.
I believe that every person is in search of their passion in this life, and Lutheran Church by the Lake is a place to find that passion.
Discipleship. We encourage all who worship here to grow in their relationship to Jesus Christ by studying the Word and living in their faith.
At our church here, we have the Tuesday morning Bible study, which I have attended, and it's both male and female of all ages, and we pick a subject and study on it, and the group is really nice, and we really get into what it means and how to move on in life and work at what we have learned as helping your neighbor and the other people around you. We have a Wednesday Bible study that is taken from the Lutheran Women's Magazine, and the women will share with each other and will pray for each other and just focus on whatever the verses they are doing and how it has impacts our life. And it's a wonderful group as far as sharing and building up friendships.
Another key component or core value that we celebrate and share is that of fellowship. Our banner depicts a ship and reflects that we are in this process of ministry together, sharing as God's people. We come together, people come from different areas of our country and settle here at Savannah Lakes, and they begin to grow in a relationship with one another. And that relationship is shared in fellowship, time of sharing, celebration, and friendship with one another.
I was asked to talk about how the golf tournament brings fellowship and friendship to the community and to the people in the area. The golf tournament benefits several different charities. It's a fun event to do, and we have one Saturday a year, and there's a lot of fellowship and friendship that goes on amongst the golfers and the 20 volunteers that we get out there. And at the end of the day, we have a great steak dinner and put on by one of our people in the parish.
Most of us have relocated to this area, so meeting new friends and having a church family is very important to us. The women's organization, WELCA, provides a wonderful opportunity for women to serve the church, the community, and the world while building lasting friendships. We learn and grow together in faith as we do God's work. The energy and talent that pours from the hearts and hands of the women of the church is amazing. Fellowship abounds when we gather each year for the chili cook-off at the Myers farm. Not only do we all have a great time, as we arrive, we bring a donation of canned goods for the food pantry at Helping Hands. When we gather for fun, we are thinking of others as well.
And I'm chairman of a group called Sundays at 4, which is an organization that brings live entertainment to our church, and in this way we are able to bring outside members of the community to our church. It's a form of fellowship.
As you can see, we're building this house, which is number 14 for our Habitat group. We have had a great crew. The crew is the remnants of the crew that helped build the church. It's been a great way of building the spirit among the group, and very important that it provides to see the gift that we give to the homeowners and how much they appreciate the homes that we've given them.
As far as houses, you can see my house is the house behind me here, with the ramp on it, and I'm thankful for it every day.
Servant leadership. In worship, God is impressed upon us. That impression seeks expression in our lives as servant leaders.
People here, I think, feel very blessed. They've been given a great deal, not just in our personal lives, but right here in the church. And I think that it's a natural outpouring to see a need and respond to it.
I believe that it means to me helping others, especially those that are in need. And one of the ways that I've done that here at Lutheran Church by the Lake is by being on the prayer shawl circle. We've had this circle going now for almost 3 years. We have about 18 to 22 women of the church that knit prayer shawls, and we give them out to members of the church and people in the community who are in need.
Our prayer shawls look somewhat like this. We make children's hats for children that leave the hospital, preemies and little infants. And we're also knitting squares that we're putting together for men in Greenwood.
One of the things that I've been very honored to work on are the joy boxes that we do every year for the Ukraine. We start in July, and we pack them for children that are in an orphanage over in Ukraine. Their ages, infants up to 16 years of age.
The core value, servant leadership, means to me, how may I help? How may I serve? I first became aware of the Coffee Project about 7 years ago, and I found out how much Lutheran World Relief does in this world, helping the poor, struggling families. And I realized what a wonderful project this was.
On our very first worship service to Lutheran Church by the Lake, we were welcomed with open arms and gracious hospitality. And immediately we felt like we had come home and we were with family.
It's a family group, service-oriented. It fit all of our needs.
This has been our first church together. So in that respect, it's very, very meaningful to me. We came from different backgrounds, and we did not have a church, and it was something that we were trying to work through, and this has been a wonderful, wonderful church for us.
One of the things I've appreciated and learned since moving here to Savannah Lakes and the Lutheran Church by the Lake is that people will invite you to come and go on a lake cruise. They say, come and jump on board with us. So we'd like to do the same for you, because as you go out on the lake, it's not much fun going by yourself. And so we invite you to get on board, to become a part of the ministry here at the Lutheran Church by the Lake as we live out our core values of worship, stewardship, discipleship, fellowship, and servant leadership. It'll be the voyage of a lifetime. Come and get on board.